a seat. Inhale to prepare for the Om. Svati prijabhya paripalayantam nyayena marjana mahimahisa gobrahmanebhya subhamats nityam loko samasta sukhino bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thanks for practicing with me today. Thank you for letting me guide your bodies through your practice today. You guys did really, really, really well. Namaste. Namaste. It is 11:57.
Perfect.
Good job, guys. How did it feel?
Good. It's a journey.
Any comments while it's fresh in your heads?
I think not skipping the chaturangas at the beginning, but it's okay to more so skip them in the seated. Because I feel like...
Yeah, I was almost going to say that during, but I was like, this down dog still feels good. So I'm not
yeah, and I feel like it felt really great because we had skipped them.
Yeah.
So it was nice to get the break, especially like, I still am feeling it a little bit from my shoulder. I just feel like the beginning it was good to move a little bit faster. It was still, I feel like it's necessary to have the breaks of chaturanga.
Okay. Yeah, to kind of break up the static.
Especially when we're doing the hot working poses. The standing series is like the working phase, and although like a lot of postures along the way are challenging, but I think you have a good perception of us, of people, and I think you'll learn like to see us and like kind of feel when a chaturanga maybe is like could be inserted or something.
Okay.
Like we were saying, every pose has a chaturanga in between each side. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So I think it is like a good, but yeah, that time was just a little too little chaturanga. That's it. And then at the end, I noticed what she does is like, instead of saying 2 breaths or 3 breaths, she'll just count to 5 faster.
Okay.
So to me, I kind of like that because it's always the same thing, and then she'll just go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like she does it just a little bit faster, or you can really slow it down and say 1, because the counts can be so different each time. So.
But then also like getting into the pose, I feel like I would have like 3 breaths and then be like 1, and I was like, right into the 3.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, especially when you talk a lot during like getting into the pose, consider those being like the 1 breath.
It's easy to lose track of the breaths when you're explaining the pose and saying stuff.
That was always my struggle. That was my struggle last time, and then.
And my teacher used to say, well, if you're in that pose 9 breaths, then you should. That's what you should have done. It was like that just happened to be, and that side probably needed 4 extra breaths. But like I agree. Like she used to be good with she would like tell this story throughout the whole class, and in down dog, like she would be talking to us, but it was still it was like a song, because she had like the rhythm of the words and the counts down. And to her, it almost, to me, it seemed like it helped her keep the count.
Cool. That's really cool.
And it was like she just had a good way of like conveying some certain message or whatever. But yeah, I think your perception is good, and that's gonna help you like develop that sense of when to insert and like when we might need it. Like we said, the 5 breaths thing I think is pretty important for
in the down dog.
Yeah, especially in the working phases when we're starting to really build up that
Yeah.
energy and it's getting hot. We need a little time to just be like, all right, like, because sometimes you can just feel like, oh shit, next pose. Like, I'm almost not ready for it. And that period of down dog helps you kind of like.
And I can see how in the beginning in the standing, that's important because we need a break. Because this is the most breathtaking, I think. Like it takes a lot to do all the standing postures and hold them, and then when we get to seated, it's kind of a break in itself. So
it's almost like for the opposite reason. Like in seated, like we're keeping. Let's like she's saying, it gets kind of boring almost. It gets slower. So we're like, we need those vinyasas to keep the flow and the momentum and the heat up.
Maybe not even like doing the breaths for that long in the seated. Maybe having those be like 1 or 2 breaths.
She usually does. I think she usually does less breaths when we're seated vinyasas.
And then taking the long down dogs in the beginning, because that's when we need the rest.
Because you're moving
taking those faster. Full 5 breaths in the beginning.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the seated poses, you're in one side, and then you can switch to the other side, and then do a vinyasa just to move, so you're not like constantly sitting.
That I think is what we should do when we're not trying to be like let's get through it. Is a vinyasa in between each side of the seating poses. But I also like what we just did was Mari, A, B each side, B, B each side, C, C, and then vinyasa, and then John, you were vice versa.
Yeah, but even like in between the A, B, and C, like do each side and then do a vinyasa. Do each side, then do a vinyasa. Yeah. But again, we're not like pressed for time.
Yeah.
Nice job, you guys look good today.
Thank you.
Even though you said you didn't practice it.
I know, we've been slacking.
Just a little bit. Me too.
As far as practice goes, I feel good, like physically and health wise. Like I think we've been on a decent. I've at least been on a decent track. But I want to get back. Joe and I were talking before this. Like a lot of times I won't like. I'll just at night I'll just do weird poses or like my own form of movement, like yoga-ish, moving around, or I'll just do a pose that I think I need.
Yeah,
and certain poses I started doing, I was like, damn, I miss Half Moon, I miss Warrior 3, I miss a lot of these other poses that to me seem fairly like not more challenging than any of the poses that we're doing.
But they help with the movement for all the poses because they still stretch certain parts of your body.
Yeah. I mean, the primary series covers it all, for sure. It's super heavy on like folds and ground and stuff, and there's not as much upper body stuff, but there is. And I think you start getting into balances and stuff as you move in, but I kind of miss a little bit of that free form flow that I kind of used to do, I guess, more often. So that's what I decided. I want to I want to stay committed to this and stay dedicated to this program that has been tried and proven.
But then maybe add like some fun times.
I want to have like I want to like every other practice just do a free flow, like whatever the fudge I want to do.
So then, since we're here, because every time we get together, we always express we want to practice together more. So before we leave today, let's schedule another day that is separate from what we do. Let's keep what we do and then add one in.
That's a good call.
And then that one can be just our kind of free for all thing.
Yeah.
And
that be a little more like pop up and spontaneous, but I agree with you. Trying to keep our like routine that we've developed now.
Just keep it on the path, because I feel like we have plenty of time till we begin intermediate. That if we do stick with our practice, we will be very prepared to start intermediate in June.
Totally. And when I practice, what I need to start doing is just doing the sun sals, maybe a couple of poses from primary, but just going straight into this unfamiliar zone.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, because every time I would start, I would do sun sals in the first set and then drop off and leave this stuff. So
I like the standing. The standing flows well and makes sense. This it also does too, but I pretty much every time I start to get like, all right. But it feels like at the end of it, it always feels like we built like a really good foundation of of movement and health, I guess.
Are there any days that y'all aren't specifically busy?
Weekdays are the best for me. Weekends, there's always stuff going on. It seems.
Weekends, so weekdays are better.
Weekdays are better.
So today's the 15th.
What about Wednesdays?
That's fine with me.
Yeah, Wednesdays are cool. I'm pretty much like just about any weekday morning I'm free. Mondays are pretty damn busy usually. So yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday would probably be ideal for me.
Wednesday we could start adding Wednesdays in here and there.
I'm done.
So today's the 15th. We could do the 18th, which is in 3 days, or we could do next Wednesday.
And do you guys want to still do the same thing? We'll switch off teaching, but each kind of teach what class we want to teach, but we'll have it maybe like, we'll have it be an hour or something, or an hour and 15 minutes.
An hour, yeah.
So we can all count on showing up at this time and leaving at this time.
Yeah.
If it's a weekday too, and all stuff going on.
I think we should do that, an hour and a half, and I think we should do an Ashtanga inspired vinyasa.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which we don't have to do like, it's free. Do whatever you want, but I think if we incorporate some poses that we struggle with, like the toe stretch, just things that will still, yoga's so good. Whatever we do is going to be beneficial,
But no, definitely Ashtanga. That's what my style of teaching is anyway. It's always been based off the Ashtanga series
But then adding some flair in front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
making it a little bit less
like not so routine.
Yeah, I think that would be good. And then that will keep us practicing more, for our own.
Because it's a little more fun to me. I guess when you're just
it is.
Yeah.
Hello, come
Are
here.
you the guy barking out there?
What are you barking at?
Birds and the planes and the leaf that fell.
It's gonna be the guard doggy.
You're so warm.
You got your tail.
It's like, hey. Okay, so.
I'm gonna say not next Wednesday because that's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
The
actually.
Wednesday after that, maybe.
From the.
Give me the holiday season.
I'm free this Wednesday.
I could do this Wednesday.
I could do this Wednesday too.
Morning or evening?
Morning, Tyler said, I think.
I'm down. Yeah, morning sounds good. I'm really either too. But I think morning would be good.
Alright, what time do you guys think?
9?
9? I was thinking 9 too. 9. I'll put 9 to 10:15, and then I'll add you guys.
Perfect.
I'll put big.
Yeah, so we'll say 9 to 10:30. We'll try to get the practice in Shavasana in that hour and 15 minutes, and then be able to do this for 15 after.
Cool.
Yeah. And that's good. That's still enough time for you guys to get here. We can always. I can go elsewhere too. This is a good spot to practice, but wherever.
Yeah, I have